Oh yeah, we're on the straight and narrow, or is it the straight and narrow? Alright, so we just got back from a little south of Lexington. It's like 130 miles one way. A little farther than I thought. Oh well. 706 gas, thing's a 65 model. 3-point, not a fast pitch. Brand new Firestone Field and Road. 16980, or 34s. Brand new wheels, like the metal. Double stack wheel weights. Engine has some issues. It'll last. A little bit of valve train noise, nothing I haven't encountered before with the other 706 when it was gas. This is going to be my wife's tractor. No oil light. The TA works. I talked the guy down because it didn't have any power steering. And he thought that that's why they quit driving it. Well, I know from experience that the power steering is weak, whatever, sat for a long time, potentially could lose its prime. So we shot some air into the filler neck, took the plug out, started it up. She started pumping. It took a minute. Once she started pumping, it pretty much sprayed like everywhere. Sorry for that weird angle. But it is Saturday, the 25th of July. Should have cut hay this weekend, but kind of got our other priorities for this tractor. Oh yeah, you hear that thing chug? Just going right up my hill. Pretty steep. Oh man. And not a lick of smoke, buddy. Let me tell you, not a lick of smoke. So anyways, we'll do an overview here in a bit. I'm actually driving this to a baby shower where my wife is because she told me to bring her a sandwich, her tractor, and a bandana. So we'll get back with you and we'll check this thing out. That's it. That's our new 706 everybody's been asking about and waiting on. It's an okay old tractor. I will say that I got it out of south of Lexington or Louisville, someplace like that. To me, it looks for the most part original. It almost looks like somebody either did some heavy work to the steering or had this thing apart and partially painted it. Because obviously the frame rails do not look like the rest of it. It looks like it's the right color, if that means anything. I paid $1,800 for this thing. The guy said it's got low compression. And it probably does, because it doesn't sound the best. And I'll start it up for you here in a minute. But it is a C263, which is the less favorable version. That means this is an early model. This is serial number 20,000 something. The other one is 18. Tricycle front end, obviously. And a brand new set of tires and rims. To be honest, the tires and rims are worth what I paid for the tractor. Double stack wheel weights, we like that. I'm not crazy about whoever painted the axles black, but it does have all functioning lights. Has the IH oil pressure gauge. 2 sets of remotes, well 3. So that remote there, it works independently from the right side of the tractor, but this remote and the one on the other side, they work off the same lever. Has the PTO shield. Super excited about that. And original lift arms. So yeah, this is it. The drawbar is not too worn out. The other one, if you look on the side, my other 706 has way more play, and these stopper bolts are like almost worn in half and really in need of replacing. Clamshell fenders, obviously. And it's not dented up at all. I mean, this thing, even I tell you what, even the heat riser works. Which the other 706, when we got it, and it was still a 263 gas, it definitely did not work. Napa Legend, it's the flavor of battery for today. If anybody knows what that S is, put that in the comments, because I've seen that on some older tractors, and I just never have any idea what it is. Obviously that has been painted on there for a really long time. And like I said, you can see just somebody probably painted on it. But even the pedals aren't worn down. This thing sat for 2 years before I got it. It's got 5,400 hours on it, I think. I need to bleed the left side brakes because the right side, I'm looking at it left, because it's a little weak. The other one holds strong, and for the most part it starts right up. Even came with an actual muffler, you know, compliments of the last guy, I guess. Front tires, they're okay. Haven't had it jacked up to know how the bearings are doing, but the fact that there's dirt around that dust cap means that somebody's put some grease in it. Yeah, I guess we will start it up for you. Yeah, the fuel tank needs cleaned out. I've had to clean that several times. It's had some water in it. Another thing I like is grab handles are in really good shape. I'm missing a cap for right here. That shouldn't be too hard to find. And it's got an entirely different set of hydraulic control arms. So I don't know if, I don't know if there's some kind of a serial brake or anything like that between an 18,000 and a 20,000 and the serial range. Not that I can find on the internet, but there are some differences. Another difference between this 706, they're both 1964, this one and the other one I have, the diesel one. This pad, whatever bolts here, this whole pad is not on the other tractor. It's just smooth, at least to my knowledge. I don't have the other tractor here because obviously it lives at the hay property most of the year. But I haven't done any kind of maintenance on it yet. I do have filters. I might pressure wash it today. The sky is not looking hateful. But anyways, I don't know if I'll pressure wash or not. But another thing it tells me somebody's taking care of it maybe is it's got a newer ballast resistor. And it's actually got CNH belts on it, both of them. So somebody put factory parts on it. For some reason it's got a new or newer oil filter housing. Or they took it off and repainted it through a partial restore. I got this thing out of Kentucky. It was to my knowledge that it came from Michigan when that guy got it. And it's just an old tractor. It's not bad for like I said, I paid $1,800 for it when I got it. When I went down to look at it, there's the neighbor's four-wheeler the kids haven't came and got yet. When I went to look at it originally, I put my down payment on it. Because yes, it took me 6 months to pay off the $1,800. I took $500 out of the taxes and went down and put a down payment on it. There it is, 5,494 hours, and that does work, and it looks original, it's got, yeah, I really like this. My other 706 doesn't have this grab handle. And like I said, these, it's almost more convenient to have them right here. And it makes me want to switch these levers out for the ones that are on the other 706. But I think that whole block assembly is different on the other one. There's another grab handle or barn door handle somebody stuck on there at some point. I don't know if that's factory or not. Yeah, it's got the cigarette lighter. It has the 4-position light switch, and the red light in the back actually does work. This thing charges. It's a lot lower to the ground because this one has 34s and the other one has 38s. But look at these tires. They're not weather checked. Plenty of the casting rubber still on them. Yeah, so I guess I'll just hush up and start it up. Pull our choke out. This one, it needs some carburetor work. Oh no. Well, the battery's dead. Now, while that is charging the battery up a little bit, I guess I'll just walk around it some more. It's got a front weight bracket. Really wish I could find some weights for it. I don't have any because when I was pulling these, yes, we've used it a little bit. got the boom pole hooked up to the back of it, and just redid the porch on the front of my house. It's another thing that's taken up a lot of my time. You know, was just working on my house and stuff like that. But pulling these two posts out of the ground, it was lifting the front end off the ground. It was raising up. So, yeah, I know the other tractor definitely wouldn't have done that. I don't know if that's just because of the wide front. It wouldn't have done that when it was still gas. It definitely won't with diesel now. But, yeah, all in all, super satisfied with the purchase. I decided to get another 706 because we are already familiar with all of their problems. Ah, yes, what I was saying, for $1,800 because the guy said it had low compression. I'm like, okay, I can handle that. I've rebuilt other tractor engines before, and plenty of car engines, or any engine for that matter. I'm pretty confident I can rebuild. The one thing, the guy was asking a lot more. When I got there, it didn't have any steering. Like, it would not steer at all. And so I told him, I was like, well, if it's going to need a MCV pump, that costs $839 from International, Bain Welker, Case IH Store, CNHI, whatever. And it'll need 3.5 5-gallon buckets of high trends, which will cost $90 a bucket. I'll probably put an MCV spring kit in it and buy the gaskets for that while it's out. There's another $100. I said, plus my time to put it in. And I said, I know that because I had to do that exact same repair on the other 706, you know. So that's how we got down to the price. Now, I did have half a notion in the back of my mind, well, hopefully I can just bleed this thing. Maybe it just doesn't have any steering from sitting. And thank God that was the case. Do I feel bad about it? Not really. I mean, the other 706 I got in, you know, honest, probably worse shape, but for cheaper than $1,800. You know, and I see them all the time. People, you know, either want an arm and a leg for them or they're dirt cheap, you know. But it is what it is. Luckily enough, I was able to bleed the steering, and I'll show you where I did that at. It's a little bit of a pain, especially when you have to add air pressure, which I had to do to the other tractor too, so luckily I was already experienced in that. But these plugs here, I'll sit down on this step and I'll show you. These plugs here, this one right here is the one, this has a valve behind it. Now you can take that out, and most of the time just crank them up or barely start them. But this is the one I decided to. That's like a service port or a diagnostic port if I remember correctly. I might be totally wrong. So what you do is you take that out. On a lot of times you can just start the tractor and it'll prime right now. I mean, it will flow, and that's partly why everything looks greasy back here. That was not the case with this one. Excuse me. It did not want to prime for whatsoever. So what I did was took a rag, wrapped it around an air nozzle, and if you push air into here, you know, with the rag wrapped around to make a good seal, that will actually force it to go wherever it needs to go. And as soon as it starts puking out of the, that's called your multiple control valve, if you have a TA. As soon as that happens, you just shut it off, put the plug back in, and bam, you got steering. Like I said, I do need to bleed the brakes. That could be associated with the lack of, you know, retention of oil from sitting, you know. And maybe it'll be charged up enough to try starting now. Oh, the TA does work from high to low or vice versa. And I don't use the TA to downshift. You never use the TA to downshift. Alright, let's see what happens. Come on now. Oh. Oh, my amp light's on. That's new. There it went out. Yeah, sometimes you gotta blip the throttle, you know, make them realize they're running, I guess. But yeah, she carries pretty good oil pressure. It doesn't drop much below that when it's warm. Hopefully you can hear me over it running. I know there's some people saying that they can't hear me a lot. But I'm going to get a microphone. My wife said you can just use earbuds like that, you know, for a cell phone, that they would work. Now, I don't know if you can hear, but there's like a knocking, and it's coming from the cylinder head. So, I'm going to fix it this winter, tear it down. I don't know if I'll get into a block. If it doesn't look bad, then I won't mess with it. But it's definitely got some valve spring noise. The noise is in the cylinder head. It's not in the block. But, yeah, I mean, not too bad of a runner. Doesn't smoke a lick, I can tell you that. I haven't noticed any oil consumption issues. I've only ran it for a couple hours so far, but and I'm probably going to take this carburetor off because, well, it just gets fixed sometimes. Like, you know, it doesn't want to start right, or I don't know. It's just, look at it. It looks like crap. And I had the one off the other 706 when it was still gas. So I know that carburetor was good and worked fine. And another thing is it's got extremely low power at idle, you know, and I haven't pulled a plug to read a spark plug or anything like that. Like I said, I mean, I've got that other carburetor. I knew it was a good one, you know, it wasn't, you know, it's been kept safe since I took it off. You know, I think I'd be better off going with that one and making adjustments before I get to tearing into this one. You know, if it's got a good one, why not go ahead and use it? So, anyways, I guess that's it for this one. You know, you got the Hero Run. She does good, and I'll get some video of me doing some stuff with it. But yeah, I guess now I'm going to go over and do a video on the grain truck like everybody was asking for. Oh, you can't see me there. Oh, hey, there you are. Yeah, it's actually the next day. Today is Sunday. I attempted to do this yesterday, and the battery was so dead I couldn't get it started, and my jump box was dead, so I had to charge it. But the battery is charged up for the grain truck, so stay tuned for tomorrow on that video, and until then, we'll see you.